All right, guys, just want to bang out a quick video about why Gen Z, yes, Gen Z in particular, might be your generation, why they suck at dating so hard. And yes, that's my DeLorean behind me. I'm actually warming up the engine here. I'm actually on my storage, so yeah, you can hear it, it's running. I haven't done a coaching video in there in a while. We might have to get back to that. I've been doing the Lambo a lot, but anyway, so I'm renovating my home, and I have a lot of people coming in and out of the garage, and I don't want them scratching my car while they're like bringing stuff in and out, so I had to put it in here. And yeah, fortunately the Lambo, they could get around, but when both cars are in there, yeah, don't want to risk it. Anyway, so why does Gen Z suck so hard at dating? Well, we have the DeLorean that shot. Man, it's almost nostalgic. I love it. I love it. Brings back great memories of cash. Anyway, I'll continue on here. So the thing about Gen Z, and again, you might be part of this generation, is Gen Z does not, they grew up in a world that was basically all online, right? They don't know a world beyond that, right? That's the only world they know. Whereas every generation before Gen Z was aware that there was a time where we didn't have internet, and we had to socialize, and we had to talk to people, and we had to learn how to communicate with people, and how to, you know, just work on like social cues and social acuity and conversational skills. And thing about Gen Z is they don't have that, right? I mean, I'm gonna rip on both the guys and the girls on this, because I do pickup artistry. I both take guys out, and I deal with guys who are Gen Z, and I deal with women who are Gen Z. My girlfriend that I had for the longest time was Gen Z, right? We're not together anymore. I will have to do a separate coaching video on that, but no hard feelings with her. Love her to death. She's a great girl. It was more something that I needed to do, and it happened like right before cash. It's like the worst time, right? And she did offer to come back, which was funny, and I was like, nah, I don't want to. No, I think we'll just leave it at B. But regardless, so yeah, Gen Z does not know a world without the internet, right? So this is statistically, I mean, this is a fact. There's data behind this. This is the most sexless generation, right? Gen Z is the most sexless generation probably in history at this point, right? They're producing the least amount of babies. They're having the least amount of sex. And it's not because they don't want to. It's because they just don't understand how to go out there into the world and actually see the world out there. They don't know how to actually go out there into the world and just interact with people on a normal level, right? Beyond ordering their Frappuccinos, their Starbucks and stuff like that. And even then, even the communication when it comes to their food is done through apps, right? Even when you go into like this burger joint I love to go into, like the Melt or any of these newer places, right? There's a kiosk, so you don't even have to talk to the cashier. You just go to the kiosk and da-da-da-da-da, right? Many times I will just skip the kiosk just to talk to the cashier, right? I put in a lot of special orders, but I like to interact. I like to say, what's up, man? How's your night going? What time are you getting off, you know? And any crazy customers, you know, just like, I like interacting with humanity. But Gen Z doesn't do that, right? So these guys are just, they can't translate. I mean, it's weird because a lot of them, like online, can be socially savvy, but when they're in front of a real person, all of a sudden they just get really nervous. They start getting like social anxiety pangs, and they just start fumbling their words, and they're not able to just communicate. Okay, so obviously this hurts their ability to talk to the opposite sex, right? And as for the women are dateless because, you know, this is kind of twofold. But you know, first of all, if you go into a venue, most of these girls are going to be on their phones. This was something you did not see even just 15 years ago, right? These women, I remember late 2000s, even early 2010s, women were not like that. It's like, why are you in this venue on swiping profiles on a dating app when there are real men in here? So it's just kind of like things like that, just that type of lack of social understanding, right? When you go to a venue, you should put your phone away. And, I mean, of course, yeah, if you want to check your text messages, it's fine. But, you should put your phone away at some point and interact with the people in the bar, including your friends. I mean, I've seen plenty of times women will be in a group of 4 or 5 women. None of them are conversing with each other. They're all looking at their phones. So this is a Gen Z problem. And I've noticed when it comes to even just like millennials, right? Even if, say, they are on their phone, and then you start having a conversation with them, right? You start talking with them. They will put their phone down, right? They'll be, oh, they'll like quickly put their phone away. Whereas Gen Z women will be like, yeah, and then what's your name? And just rudely continue texting on the phone, right? I mean, a lot of times I've called them out, like, girl, get off your phone. That's super rude. It's super inconsiderate. And it's bad manners. It's bad manners. I've had to tell so many of these women, it's bad manners. Some get offended. Some are surprised. It's like, I'm the first guy telling them this, probably because they're raised by a single mom. So yeah, that's on one side with the women. On another side, they are getting loads of attention on social media. So they don't feel the need to interact, right? So it almost kind of begs the question, like, why are you out at this club? Are you just out here because you feel you need to go out or something? So yeah, this generation is really, really tricky. And again, like I said, my last girlfriend of 4 years, just recently ended it in the summer. Amicably. We still talk. She still checks on me about Cash, and I still check on her about her family and her brother and all that. She was a completely different story. I've said this before. Like, I met her at a Chick-fil-A, and she was working girl and didn't use social media. I mean, it's just incredibly rare, which is why I pursued her. I came back again. But Gen Z overall is really screwed at this point, right? And I don't know what it's going to take. I know there are like some Gen Z groups out there that have formed where you get together, no cell phones, or a lot of Gen Zers, not many, but there are some out there that are going back to those like flip phones that we had way back in the day that don't have data on it. It's just straight calling. Which if I wasn't on social media, I would probably do that too, because I mean, it just gets tiring, right? Like being able to access everything on your phone. It's insane. Regardless, Gen Z has a lot of issues. And for the guys, it's mostly like lack of social skills, I would say, right? Because they're not, and it's not entirely their fault, because they grew up in this online world. And they were never encouraged to go out and pick up girls like we were back in the day, which explains why whenever I get a Gen Z guy and I'm trying to teach him pickup, it's like he'd rather jump out of an airplane without a parachute than go talk to a pretty girl that he sees in a grocery store during day game, or, at a club or something like that. He just rather like do something else that's, jump off a bridge or something than talk to the girl. It's just crazy to me, because I'm like, dude, you want to get a girlfriend or not? Well, yeah, I do, but I don't get rejected. And back in the day, it's like we just sucked it up as guys, right? It's like, even though we sucked at game, we sucked at talking to girls, we would just suck it up and go talk to the girl. Even if we said something stupid, we were proud of ourselves that we worked up the courage to go talk to the girl, because we wanted a girlfriend, we wanted affection, we wanted somebody to have to go to with somebody that we could take to the movies, take to dinner, take home to introduce to our parents, right? The risk versus reward was there, right? It was like there was more reward that pushed us to take that risk, right? To talk to the girl. But a lot of these Gen Zers are really missing, just when it comes down to it, basic social skills. Right? Basic social skills. Like, girl, like when somebody's talking to you, I don't care if you're in a club, if you're in a line at grocery store, put your phone down, right, for a second. I mean, you don't even have turn off. Just put it down and pay attention to the person, right? What if it's a mugger or something? What if they're dangerous? You don't know, right? What if it's some Chad? What if it's a Chad who's talking? You don't know. Put your phone down for a second. But too many times these girls like, yeah, oh my goodness gracious, girl, put the phone down. It's just like horrible etiquette. And on the guy's side, they're just bumbling buffoons, right? Because they're just not, I mean, they're not used to interacting with girls, right? Especially their own peers, right? Because usually you learn this stuff in what, like middle school, high school especially. You ask girls to dances and whatnot. These kids are asking girls to dances online, right? Through like Facebook or IG or something. They're not even asking them in person, and they go to the same school, right? They'll like message them on IG. Hey, I just want to say I think you're cute. Why'd you tell it in person, man? Right? So, yeah, I mean, it took me a while to get it. It took me a while to understand. It's definitely upped my own game personally, because this is just far out from what I grew up with. All you Gen Xers like myself know, this is just, whoa, right? It's just a different world. However, I've adapted. I just, what my father always said about the Marines, you improvise, you adapt, you overcome, son. Right? Whenever I was like wanting to play victim, like, Dad, it's like improvise, adapt, overcome. All right, fine. So, yeah, that lesson stuck with me. So when it comes to this new generation, I just improvise, I adapt, I overcome. I understand, right? However, I've, and I hate to say, I don't know another way to say this without sounding like I'm bragging, but I've never had so many women in my life, especially younger women, just become attracted to me off of a cold approach, right? Usually it takes more work, it takes more selling, it takes more rapport building, comfort building, seduction, all that stuff that we teach in pickup artistry. However, with Gen Z, it doesn't really take much. All it really takes is showing the girl that you have social skills, right? Like me just cold approaching a Gen Z girl and saying, hey, and even though I'm some like creepy old man, like that's her dad's age practically, they warm up very quickly when they see like, okay, wow, this guy is not nervous. He's not validating himself to me. He's not even like sweating. He's being normal. And then having like, just understanding social cues, right? The girl becomes attracted right away. I've never seen this before, where I really don't have to put in that much effort. Whereas with older women, like even like millennials, and definitely like my own generation, you would have to put in work. And these women are like past their prime now, right? They're older. Whereas like with Gen Z, this is the first generation where I'm like, wow, the game has become easier. It's become easier. It hasn't become harder. It's become easier, and I'm getting more wrinkles. I'm getting more gray hair, right? I'm getting them, man. Look at them. Look at these. All right, I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get it on my whiskers too. It's my natural hair. People don't believe it. It is. No balding. No balding. But yeah, 53. Not much gray hair and no balding. That's just good living, man. Good genes, and not letting life stress you out. But yeah, I've never seen the game work so well than it is now, than it does today, because these Gen Z women are not used to they're not used to guys cold approaching them, right? And even the guys that have cold approached them in the past have been so sloppy, right? So unorganized and so unskilled that when a guy does approach them and actually has skills, has social acuity, has pickup artist skills, and is able to say the right things at the right time, tease her, neg her, push pull, qualify her, make her qualify herself to you, don't validate her, don't compliment her, all the stuff I teach you guys, right? All the basics. She's just like, oh my gosh, he's like, you're hot, I don't care, you're twice my age, 3 times my age, I don't care, you're older than my dad. It's just funny. It's just funny how female nature never changes. Even with technology and all these smartphones, attraction still works. 7 months to mastery, get in my program. And a lot of the Gen Zers, let's face it, right? These people have never really dated offline. Everything has been done online with the dating apps. And again, the social media, contacting each other. Many of these people, their first date was made online. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. What is this thing hanging? Oh, okay, it's the rope. I was like, what is this thing hanging? It's a rope for the garage part. And it's nuts that nobody has really asked him out. And I've had a number of Gen Z women say, you're the first person asking me out in person. And they'll be like 23 years old. I'm like, what? 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 Nobody's asked you out in person? It's like, no, even if I meet them in person, they ask me out online. Right? I'm like, oh my God, man. Yeah, this is nuts. But this is the main reason why Gen Z sucks at dating. And if they don't do something, I mean, and not surprisingly, this is a generation that watches the most porn, right? And this is why these guys have these unrealistic expectations of what a woman should be and do. It's like, I just wish you all would get out there and just talk to people. Just start socializing. Get good at socializing. You don't have to go on a boot camp with me. You don't have to go in these crazy Hollywood venues and pick up these like 8s, 9s, and 10s that are getting hit on by celebrities, that are flaking on celebrities. And here's little old you, Mr. M's pickup student, trying to pick up like some quasi-celebrity. You don't have to do that. Just baby steps, right? Talk to your cashiers. Talk to the your Uber driver. Just start conversations, man. It's not everyone's gonna want to talk. That's okay. A lot of you guys are so afraid of being rejected. Like, what if they're mean and they don't want to talk? No problem, right? Okay, yeah, no problem. I've had that too. It's like, oh, I'm not really having a good day. I'm not really into feeling like having conversation. Oh yeah, no worries, man. All right, I'll leave you alone. It's like pass out or something if I'm getting a lift. So yeah, it's as simple as that. Don't take everything so personal. That's another thing. Gen Z is incredibly sensitive, right? It's like they're just so sensitive. They're so soft. I hate to say it, right? Not all, right? If you're following me, you're probably not one of them, but you know what I mean. You probably have friends like this, might have family members like this. Just so soft and fragile, and I blame, culture on that, right? I blame, just the environment that we've lived in for the last decade or so, where they've just made everybody a sissy, right? It's like, oh my God, he said a word, and you get so triggered, so easily offended. And it's just like, what happened to, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. They used to say that all the time when I was in school, right? Whenever you complain or like try to tell the teacher, like, oh, this kid said this racist thing to me, the teacher would literally say stuff like, tell that kid, how's it go? I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. Can't believe I remember that. But you know what I mean. In any case, if you're a Gen Zer, man, let me know your thoughts. Your friends, family members that are also Gen Z, girls that you've dated that are Gen Z. If you can relate, if you have stories to share, please share them below. What is it like dating as a Gen Z person? Okay? What has been your experiences? Even for the women that follow me, right? If you're Gen Z, what has been your experiences? Even if you're not a Gen Z, if you're Gen X like me, what has been your dating experience? You probably get hit on, right, by younger guys. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you there. Oh, you know what we should do? Check out the DeLorean. Ugh, why not? There we go. First time, I gotta take a photo. First time that I've been in this DeLorean shooting a coaching video in probably like a good year and a half or so. Stick shift, that's another thing. A lot of kids don't know how to drive stick these days. Very, very sad. It's Cash's bed. A little mark right here. And his blanket. So sad. Alright guys, until next time. So, I'm gonna wrap up here. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Do it for the DeLorean. Smash that like button below. for the DeLorean. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you subscribe, so please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay? Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm because they're definitely not helping me anymore. I need your help. So subscribe to my channel. Share my videos with your buddies. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content even further, stainless steel pill content, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students all over the world are out there approaching and closing every single day, every single week, no matter what type of racial divisions going on in the world, no matter what type of virus is going on in the world, we are out there making things happen 24/7, just living our lives and having fun and taking no prisoners. And I want you to be a part of that. Okay? Life is short. I want you to be part of it. I want you to learn how to do it. And right now, the first month is only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons in 7 Months to Mastery, which is a very, very, very valuable program. I highly recommend you join. It's only $1 for the entire first month of content, so take advantage of it. And it only takes 2 seconds to sign up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.